You're sitting on a subway train, or maybe you're in a coffee shop. You look up from your phone for half a second, and you accidentally lock eyes with a total stranger sitting across the room. What happens? Your heart skips a beat. Your stomach does a weird little flip. You immediately look away, suddenly intensely interested in the nutritional information on the back of your oat milk carton. You feel exposed. You feel like a boundary was just crossed. There's actually a word for this specific, unsettling feeling. It's called opia, the ambiguous intensity of looking someone in the eye, which can feel simultaneously invasive and vulnerable. But why? Why does looking at two small, squishy orbs in someone else's face feel like a high-stakes emotional event? To understand that, we have to go back, way back, because the story of how human beings started making sustained eye contact is not a story about romance or empathy or deep spiritual connection. Not at first. It is a story about apex predators, a terrifying evolutionary mutation, and a desperate survival strategy on the African savanna that fundamentally rewired the human brain. Let's start with a basic rule of the animal kingdom. Staring is violence. In the wild, if an animal is staring at you, sustained, unbroken, locked on, it means one of two things. It wants to eat you, or it wants to fight you. That's it. There is no third option where the leopard just wants to know how your day is going. If you look a silverback gorilla directly in the eyes, you are not establishing a connection. You are issuing a challenge. You are effectively screaming at a 400-pound wall of muscle that you want to fight to the death. The gorilla will oblige. Across almost every species on the planet, prolonged eye contact is a threat display. It triggers the amygdala, the primitive alarm bell in the brain, flooding the system with cortisol and adrenaline. It means danger. It means focus. It means aggression. And for millions of years, our ancient primate ancestors operated by the exact same rule. You kept your head down. You didn't stare. You monitored the alpha of the troop out of the corner of your eye, because looking directly at him was a great way to get your skull caved in. Eye contact was dangerous, aggressive, and highly regulated by social hierarchy. So, what changed? How did we go from primates who actively avoided looking at each other to a species that literally measures trustworthiness based on whether someone will look us in the eye during a handshake? The answer begins with a bizarre, completely unique physical mutation. Look in a mirror. Look at your eyes. Specifically, look at the white part around your iris, the sclera. You have white sclera. Every single human being on Earth has highly visible white sclera. Now look at a chimpanzee. Look at a gorilla. Look at a dog, a lion, a bear, a hawk. They don't have that. Almost every other animal on the planet has completely dark sclera, or sclera that perfectly matches their iris. Their eyes are effectively camouflaged. And from a survival standpoint, camouflaged eyes are a massive advantage. If you are a predator, you don't want your prey to see exactly where you are looking before you strike. You want your gaze to be a secret. And if you are prey, you absolutely do not want a predator to know you've spotted them. Because the moment they know you see them, the chase begins. Dark eyes hide intention. They keep your thoughts private. They give you a tactical edge. So why did humans, an incredibly physically vulnerable hominid wandering around a savanna filled with things that wanted to eat us, suddenly evolve bright white billboards on our faces, broadcasting exactly where we were looking at all times? Evolution doesn't do things for aesthetics. Natural selection doesn't care if white eyes look soulful. If a trait makes you easier to kill, it gets bred out of the gene pool. Hard and fast. The fact that white sclera survived and became a universal human trait means it wasn't a disadvantage. It was a superpower. Anthropologists call this the Cooperative Eye Hypothesis. Around 2 million years ago, our ancestors, likely Homo erectus, started doing something that changed the trajectory of the planet. They started hunting together, not just swarming a carcass like scavengers. True, coordinated, cooperative hunting. Picture it. You are standing in the tall grass. You have a sharpened stick. Your brother is 50 yards to your left. Your cousin is 50 yards to your right. You are trying to ambush an antelope. If you make a sound, the antelope runs. If you wave your arms, the antelope runs. You need to communicate a highly complex, synchronized attack plan in complete and total silence. How do you do it? You look at your brother. He looks at you. He looks at the antelope. He looks back at you, then cuts his eyes to the left, towards a patch of trees. You understand instantly. You go left, I'll flush it toward you. You didn't say a word. You didn't move a muscle. You just shared a thought across empty space using nothing but the movement of your eyes. This is the cognitive leap that separates us from everything else. Human beings evolved visible sclera because, at a certain point in our history, the survival benefit of being able to read each other's minds outweighed the risk of predators seeing where we were looking. We traded physical camouflage for social telepathy, but having the hardware, the white sclera, is only half the equation. The brain had to rewire itself to actually handle this new input. Because remember, for millions of years, staring meant death. The amygdala was hardwired to panic at sustained eye contact. This is where the story gets incredibly beautiful, and where Opia comes back into the picture. To survive as a highly cooperative species, the human brain had to hijack its own threat detection system. It had to take the intense physiological arousal of eye contact, the elevated heart rate, the focused attention, the rush of adrenaline, and rebrand it. It did this using oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn child. When ancient humans sat around a fire and looked into each other's eyes, their brains began rewarding them for doing the very thing that used to mean they were about to be attacked. The gaze shifted from a weapon to a bridge, but the old wiring never fully went away. That's why eye contact still feels so incredibly potent today. When you lock eyes with someone, your brain is simultaneously running two completely different evolutionary programs. Your ancient primate brain is shouting, "Alert! Threat! We are being targeted!" And your human cooperative brain is whispering, "Wait, pay attention. We are connecting. We are sharing a mind." That tension, that biological tug-of-war between fear and trust, is exactly what Opia is. It's the echo of a 2-million-year-old mutation playing out in a coffee shop. As our ancestors got better at this, the demands on eye contact grew. It wasn't just about hunting anymore. It became the foundation of human empathy. You cannot fake what your eyes are doing. The tiny micro-expressions, the dilation of the pupil, the exact angle of the gaze, it is an unfiltered feed of your internal emotional state. When you look someone in the eyes, you are demanding to see their humanity, and you are offering yours in return. This became the ultimate social sorting mechanism. Who can I trust? Who is lying to me? Who is hiding something? In ancient tribes, if someone refused to meet your gaze, it was a massive red flag. It meant they were operating on the old rules. It meant they were hiding their intentions. We still feel this intuitively. Think about how much you distrust someone who won't look you in the eye when they speak to you. You don't have to think about it logically. Your nervous system just rejects them. We built our entire civilization on this silent agreement. We trade economies, build cities, and sign treaties based on the deeply ingrained biological assumption that if I can look you in the eye, we share a reality. And this is exactly why the modern world feels so psychologically exhausting. We are running 2-million-year-old hardware in an environment it was never designed for. Think about a Zoom call. You are staring at a screen containing the faces of 12 different people. They are all looking directly at you. In the ancient savannah, 12 people staring at you meant you were either the most important person in the tribe, or you were about to be exiled and left to die. Your nervous system doesn't know you're just on a Q3 marketing sync. It is flooding your body with low-level adrenaline, preparing you for a life-or-death social encounter that never actually happens. It's exhausting. Or think about walking down a crowded city street. You are passing thousands of pairs of eyes. To cope, we have developed a modern survival mechanism. the middle distance stare. We actively avoid eye contact to protect our neurological bandwidth. We put on sunglasses, we stare at our phones, we deliberately shut down the very superpower that kept our ancestors alive, because the modern world demands too much of it, but the craving never leaves us. Because beneath the social anxiety, beneath the awkwardness of the subway stare, beneath the protective layer of our digital screens, we are still those ancient hominids sitting around a fire in the dark. We are desperately, biologically hungry to be seen, to know that the consciousness trapped inside our own skull is not alone in the void. We want someone to look at us, truly look at us, and silently communicate the only message that has ever really mattered. I see you. You are safe here. We are in this together. So the next time you lock eyes with a stranger and feel that sudden, uncomfortable jolt of Opia, don't just look away. Linger for a fraction of a second. Acknowledge it. You are participating in one of the oldest, most profound biological miracles in human history. You are using the exact same hardware your ancestors used to conquer a hostile planet. Just to say hello.